All right, let's get into the first one. You know what sucks when you're 100% sure you're polyamorous? Is that how you say it? But could never find a partner, let you find a boyfriend. Now, how are you going to be that and then not be able to like cuz that's when you can have multiple partners, right? Like what do you mean like is that when you can like the guy can have multiple girls? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I'll wait for you guys to answer cuz I think that's what it is, right? Is when they can have multiple no I know es what? uh because I'm not 100% sure if that's both parties are open. No, we're gonna do a little research just so we get the stuff correct. Let me look it up real quick. Let me hold on. I just walked in, not sure if this is new terms. A girl can have multiple guys. Is that what it is? A girl can have multiple guys. Morris. It means engaging in multiple romantic relationships with the consent of the people involved. Okay, so she's saying, how can she be in that type of relationship and not be able to get a boyfriend? It's because probably he doesn't. He probably wants to have multiple girls, but the moment you want to have another guy, that's a problem. So I think that's what's happening. He wants you to be okay with him having multiple partners, but of course, you can't go find another guy because you clearly said the moment you get like you try to look for a boyfriend or you try to get a boyfriend, that's a problem. Poly relationships, my situation. See, so Crystal, what kind? Like, are you in a relationship where like I'm calling you out? Are you in a relationship where you can like have multiple partners, or is it just your man can have multiple partners? I can't do poly. What do you do when your person's sex drive isn't there? You're gonna want to listen to next week's podcast episode, Steph. It's gonna come out on Monday. You're gonna really enjoy that podcast, trust me, and it hopefully it's gonna help a lot of people. I can't do poly. Hold on, I'm waiting for her to come back. This is not a healthy relationship. But see, Elda, I think that's how you say. If they're happy being in that type of relationship, let them do their thing. You know what I mean? Just because you wouldn't do it doesn't mean that they're not happy doing it, if that makes sense. Like some people are happy to be in an open relationship, and there's nothing wrong with that. If they're happy, both parties are happy about it, cool, let them do their thing. Just because you wouldn't do it doesn't mean it's not okay, if that makes sense. My past situation was like, hi, how's your evening? What's up, mama? But it usually goes both ways. I couldn't do it. I keep hitting the return button. LOL. Facts. Uh, is it bad that I like a situationship? I mean, probably. Everyone's different for sure. It's okay. Hola, Edgar. What's up, Jenny? ¿Cómo estás? Crystal, how are you? HIV is all time high right now. No, thank you. Hey, that is, I think they said it in Connecticut or Mississippi, right? They said that there's a like a epidemic going on of like HIV or some sort of STDs, right? Like I saw it on IG. I was like, damn, y'all wild. Why be in an open relationship when you can just be single and mess with anyone you want? So, Alicia, glad you asked that question. So, some people, because I actually talked to somebody who, just because I'm curious, just like I asked her a question, I get curious. So, they said that they love being with each other. They just don't satisfy each other, like intimacy wise, right? And they don't want to separate. So, they would rather be in an open relationship where they can go mess around with somebody else and get satisfied instead of being like separating and doing their own things because they're completely happy. They're happy doing that, going to do their thing, like getting satisfied and then coming back home to them, right? So again, that's what I'm saying. Like if they're happy with it, cool, do your thing. Is it for everybody? Probably not. So and there's nothing wrong with that. Some people like it, some people don't like it, and there's nothing wrong with that. All right, next question. My dirty little kink is when he is eating my, and with one hand he is touching my, and with the other hand he has his finger in my best feeling ever, girl. Super freak, she's super freaky. This man was trying to plug up all the holes, all of them. He was trying to make sure, and see, I'm glad that you shared that because I want other people to see, hey, this shit is hot. Do stuff to your lady. Maybe she likes the different holes plugged up. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Play with her, the little twins, like there's nothing wrong with playing with the twins either. So, but this is how you get to learn like what your partner is into and what your partner is not into, right? So, and then you get to experiment and have fun. There's a shit ton of stuff that you can do, different positions, different toys. Yo, I like your live keeping it real. Oh, we keep it 100% over here. Hey, you should make a Freaky Friday live. I'm not trying to get, maybe on Twitch. I'm not trying to get banned on TikTok and IG because they be super sensitive. Like all at the same time. Yeah, Cindy, I think you could because look, you have one on the one in the other hole. Oh wait, no, he was going down, so his head's down here, playing with the titty, and then reaching. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible, and I will try it for science for you guys, just to make sure. I want to break this myth. I want to break this myth where like you can go down, play with the titty, and then reach around and do some things back there too. So don't worry, I will figure this out for you guys, and I'll report back. Okay. All right. Next question. Do you look at a woman's physical appearance? Now, I feel that everybody looks at it. It's not like you can't ignore it. Like you're looking at somebody, clearly you're probably going to look at their face, their booty, their like what they're working with, like all sorts of stuff. There's no way you can be like, I didn't see none of that. I didn't see that she had a big booty. Like they're going to look at it. At the end of the day, you got to be attracted to your person, whether your partner is a little heavier set, whether they're on the skinnier side, tall side, it doesn't matter. I've always told you guys that the first thing that attracts me is a smile. So like if you have good teeth, I instantly am like, what's up, girl? That's what eventually, I mean, that's what attracts me. And then after that, then of course you pay attention to everything else. Like, and then girls and guys, you guys all look at the body. Stop lying. Some people are okay with like whatever their body is, and some people are not, right? But you pay attention to the body because let's be honest, like you're probably like, dang, like she got a big booty, or dang, she got like this, she got these type of legs or something like that. The guy has this, he has like bigger arms, nice shoulders, nice eyes, like things like that. So that's what I'm saying. Like you pay attention to physical appearances because I've said it before and I'll say it again. You have to be attracted to your person. Like, and the first thing that attracts you to them is not mentally. You guys didn't have a conversation, like a blind conversation, and then met, unless you guys were like on the phone. But you pay attention to that, and then you're like, oh shit, like I like the body, or I don't like the body. So hey, how are you? What's up, Becca? ¿Cómo estás? How are you? I'm doing great. So again, everybody pays attention to the body. It doesn't matter, and what they're into, it just depends on them. Because we've had the question like, why are all these buff dudes that are tall into like heavier set girls? Again, maybe that's what they're into. So, but again, somebody who says that doesn't pay attention to the appearance of the body is a fucking liar. Because even ladies pay attention to the body. Like, and again, I'm not saying that, oh shit, I don't like that body. Some people are like that, but some people are not like that. So, all right, next question. Do you consider looking up half-naked women cheating? Okay. So, if you've brought it up, because if they're looking at them, they're just window shopping, right? They're looking at people in the street. The only difference is if you told him that you don't like that and he continues to do that, that's the disrespectful part, is right there. So technically, I always say, if you don't want it done to you, you shouldn't do it to the other person. So again, some people may be like, oh, that's not cheating. Some people might say, yes, it is cheating. Would I want a girl I'm with looking at like naked dudes? No. So am I going to do that? No, because then to me, it would be like it was cheating. That's why, again, some people are fine with it. But if you're seeking it out in their devices, but that's what I mean. Like, and especially if you brought it up to them, and they continue to do it, first of all, that's being disrespectful to you. You know, like you told them, hey, I don't like this, and they continue to do it. Clearly, they don't give a fuck about your feelings. So that's another thing right there. And then yes, like because I guarantee you, if they're doing it, you bring it up, and then you match their energy. Guess what? they're gonna act like you're cheating. So just remember that. I've heard that men are always looking at women, but that's true too. Like, but I'm sure you guys have been walking by and you've seen a good looking dude, and then that's it. That's where it ends, right? A good looking girl walks by, you look at her, and then that's where it ends, right? Now the problem is if you take it one step further, try to talk to them, try to get their Instagram, try to like get their number, right? That's the disrespectful part. And so like if they're scrolling, because sometimes like let's be honest, you're scrolling and all of a sudden like there's an ad for like this half naked woman and she's like doing some weird shit and I'm just like, what the fuck is this? Like when did I sign up for this? And I'm sure like you've had guys pop up on your shit too as well. Hey, thank you for the gift, Mario Luis. I appreciate you. So again, I'm pretty sure if you were to look up half naked dudes, he would probably say that you're cheating. So again, that comes down to everybody. Would I want the girl that I'm with looking at half naked dudes? No. So am I gonna do it? No. I don't want him looking at another woman, but I like looking at women. And there's nothing wrong with that either. I like that. All right, next question. Do you believe people stay in relationships for the kids? Yes. I've been with my partner for over 17 years, even after multiple affairs. I feel like I've stayed for our kids. I grew up with divorced parents, and I don't want that for my kids. See, what you're doing is actually worse. If you're staying together in a toxic relationship or a bad relationship, you think your kids are not picking up on that? You think just because you're staying together that they're gonna like learn something from that? If they see you in like not happy, not being loved the way you're supposed to be loved and things like that, that's what they're learning. Okay. Most of you guys are like, my kid is so smart. But then when it comes down to like relationships and you guys parenting, like they're dumb. They're dumb as fuck. Like, how are they smart as fuck? And then all of a sudden, like paying attention, they pick up everything. Kids will pick up everything and they will pick up those bad vibes. Okay. And that's what I'm saying. Like it's actually worse thing in a relationship that you guys are not happy. He's cheated on you multiple times. So what you're communicating to your kids is that it's okay to cheat because you have to stay together. Like that's what you're doing. You're to like if your kids are paying attention, which they probably are, and once they start learning, it's okay. And especially if you have little boys, it's okay to cheat on the girl because the she's not gonna go anywhere, right? Yeah, they're gonna fight about it, but they're not gonna go anywhere. Or like if you're getting abused, that's where they learn like, oh, okay, this is what I grew up learning, so it's okay, right? So that's why it's actually worse staying together for the kids. Wouldn't you want your kids seeing two happy separate homes? The husband happy with somebody, you happy with somebody. Isn't that better? I grew up luckily in like my parents are together. They fought every now and then, but nothing crazy, right? So I've seen that. That's what I'm used to. I'm used to like, excuse me, you're supposed to work out your problems. They've been together for like, I think 40 plus years. Like that, opening doors, being chivalrous, like, paying for the bill and stuff like that's how I grew up, like learning, right? I didn't grow up learning with my dad beating my mom, like none of that. Like I've never seen that. So like, that's why I would rather just so you can understand like what I've seen is like I saw that. So I don't have none of those like my parents were yelling at each other all the time. There's always like bad energy, bad vibes, like none of that. Like that's not healthy for the kids and they're going to pick up on it. That's why they get PTSD. That's why they get some sort of trauma. And then later on it becomes a problem, like they start acting a certain way. Right. And then when they go to therapy, it'd be like, oh, because you were in an unhappy, unstable home environment. So that's what I'm saying. Never stay because of the kids, especially if he's cheated on you multiple times. You're clearly saying it's okay for the husband to cheat because you have to stay. So would you want your daughter, say you got daughters, would you want your daughter to stay? Her husband is cheating on her multiple times. Wouldn't you tell her, hey, you have to leave. Like, what the heck is this? Or are you gonna tell her, oh, hey, like, just stay, deal with it? No, I'd have been like, get the fuck out. All right, next question. Um, Anonymous, please. It is thoughts on spending on OF while married. He says just videos, not actual cheating, but would have cyber S with all kinds of women spending over $100 every time and going into debt because of it. Girl, that's a problem. If he's going into debt and having cyber S, that's a problem. Because I guarantee you, if you do it, you're gonna be cheating. He's gonna tell everybody. He's gonna yell at you because you were cheating. He's gonna tell people that you were cheating. Oh shit! Freaking drop my thing. All right, hold on. Ugh. I got a little napkin right over here. See, look, I got all super upset about it. Hold on. Clean this up a little bit. Time to leave. He's cheating. Yeah. See, I dropped my drink for you guys. I got that upset. I dropped my drink. It's all right. It wasn't much left in it, but now I'm gonna be all parched. Hey, I love your videos. Technical difficulties. Yes, we accidentally spilled our drink. Do I have another? Negative. Negative, Ghost Rider. All right, I guess we're gonna the drink was like, get out. Yes, absolutely. Get out. So back to the cheating or the OnlyFans. I guarantee you, if you were looking up these guys, you were sending them the messages, you were having S over the phone, like the cyber S, he would think that you're cheating. He would yell at you like you were cheating. Like it would be the biggest problem ever. But since he does it, it's okay. And he's spending all sorts of money on it and going into debt about it. Like, how many red flags do you need before you're gonna leave? So that's definitely a red flag. And if he's not, it's getting to the point where I feel like it might be a little too late. Like you need to give him an ultimatum, and if he doesn't change, then guess what? He's not gonna change because once they get addicted to that type of stuff, it's really hard for them to change. So I just found out my boyfriend cheated on me. I am sorry to hear that, Jazzy. Like cheating it sucks. Like it sucks, and that's something you shouldn't have to deal with. But the best thing that you can do is hopefully you don't go back to him, But you're gonna have to start a healing journey now. Like it's not gonna happen overnight. It's not gonna it's gonna take some time. But the worst thing that you could do is go back to this person or continue to communicate with this person because they made their choice. They cheated. They made their choice. What are you gonna do? So always remember that. Like if you ever get the feeling to message them, to like reach out to them, just remember they stepped out of the relationship and they cheated on you. So just remember that. Like anytime you feel like going back, anytime, just remember that. Okay. That's what I always tell people is like just remember that part, and then hopefully you can get past this. So, all right, next question. I saw one of your posts where the girl says she gets attached quick, so she sleeps around a lot. No judgment, cada quien. I get attached real quick too. I'm recently single, but I sleep around at all. I don't sleep around at all because of my personal preference, but that's all guys really want right now. It's stressful. I would just say like don't sleep around a lot. Instead, just get a toy, naughtyscience.com, like that way you don't catch a body. That way you can just not catch feelings either. But I get it. Like sometimes some people get attached really fast. But I think you may need to let them work for it a little bit more. Like if you're giving it up too early, that could be the problem too. That you're giving it up too early and you need to give them a little bit more time before you give it up, because if that's all they're looking for, they're not going to last very long. They're going to get upset. There's also some people talk about the third date rule, the fourth date rule, that's when you're supposed to give it up to them. Give it up to them the fifth, sixth date, because if you're third date, fourth date in and you haven't given it up, they might give up, and then hopefully, like, if that's all they're there for, cool. Hopefully they do leave, right? Because that's what you want, is you want them to leave. You don't want to have somebody around that just gonna, like, just wants to hook up. So definitely pay attention to that. Okay. All right, catch up body. All right, next question. How do I let go of a person who truly isn't good for me? Only comes around for his convenience. I fell in love with the idea of him because I was getting any attention in my current relationship, but he gave me compliments to get hooked. I know I've done wrong, but I don't know how to let go. Girl, uh, there is a reason you asked this question. There is a reason you sent this message. Is because there's a lot of problems, and if you think that it's going to get fixed overnight, it's not. Uh, he's giving you what you want to hear just to keep you around for that time, if that makes sense. So I would just say, cut your losses. I know it's going to be hard. Block them, get rid of them, because like you're just going to be stuck in this same circle, the same cycle of the same thing happening over and over and over. And until you stop that cycle, and finally get rid of him, knowing that he wants nothing serious with you, like, he wants nothing serious with you, but yet you continue to stick around. So, so just remember that, like, he's not giving you what you want. Like, if you want a serious relationship, if you want something like that, he's not giving you that. He's probably not going to, right? So, like, how much more time are you going to waste with this guy? I always tell that people, don't be that person who wastes a shitload of time with this person. Okay. So, next question. Sharing because I'm because I'm horny as fuck and no one to. I'm right here. I really want someone to slam me up against the wall, tease me, barely fingering me, lick my neck, and then choke me, and then with their hands still on my neck, move me down and on my knees and demand me to start giving. Girl, we love that. We love that. See, and so the way I'm going to answer this question is, pay attention to how your person is in the beginning, because she's craving all of that, right? But most of the time when you guys first hook up with somebody, you guys let vanilla slide. Or if they're vanilla, you're just like, hopefully they get better. Instead of like teaching them so they can give you and fulfill you with things like that, instead you just wait, like, and hopefully they figure something out. So no, some guys haven't been like that, and there's nothing wrong if the guy hasn't been like that. He just probably hasn't met the right girl that brings that freak out of him. And so that's what you got to help him do too. It's like, hey, do this, and then eventually, hopefully, you create yourself a little freak. Hey, gracias, Ellie, for the gift. I see you, girl. And then hopefully, eventually, you create yourself a little sucio, okay? And that way you can have something like that. But if they're vanilla in the beginning, they're going to continue to be vanilla over time. And especially if you guys are faking the O's, if you're faking he's doing an amazing job, he's not going to learn. He's going to be like, well, everything is fine because she's getting hers and then she's moaning like crazy. So that's why it's not good to lie about that. So, all right, next question. Do you encourage effing a coworker? Absolutely the fuck not. I always say avoid the workplace, because if it doesn't work out, now it's going to be awkward at work. Or if it's your boss, they probably find a reason to let you go, right? So you have to worry about all that stuff too. And who knows, like, maybe that person has hooked up with multiple people at your work as well. Maybe, what if they're married? Workplaces is somewhere where a lot of people cheat because it's easy to cheat. So they could also tell you that they're single, and then in reality, they're with somebody else. And then again, it's the whole awkward thing. Would you want to be at work right now with somebody who just makes you feel awkward, that you don't want to be there? Like, maybe they ghosted you, maybe it didn't work out, Remember people Coldplay? Absolutely. Like, and then shit gets out eventually. And then also, like, if you can't have relationships where you work at, somebody might get fired if somebody finds out. Now you lose a job, right? Or one of you guys is going to lose your job. Work should just be work. Have your coworker friends. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, have coworker friends, but that's where it should end. You know, don't shit where you eat. You know always think. I always tell people, always think of worst case scenarios. Like what could happen. Rose says he cheated on me with a coworker. See, that's what I'm saying. Like it always be work. You know, one of the top places that they cheat at is at work, and then where they cheat at is at the park. Damn, all bad hell no. That's what I'm saying. All right, next question. Hi, I've been married for 20 years, and I've been fantasizing about having S with a girl. I told my BF about this fantasy, and we agreed to meet up and have S. It was so much fun. We both enjoyed it, sexy as fuck. We left the bed soaking wet. We ate each other and made each other's with our. Okay, it was. First of all, it was two girls, and second of all, see, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, sometimes the girl might do it better. And there's nothing wrong with girls liking girls, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, of course, it's not everybody's cup of tea, but if they love it, best friends, they're more than best friends now. But see, here's the thing. Yeah, you guys are best friends, but you don't think it's going to be awkward now? You don't think it's going to be weird now? Like what if one of you guys is looking for a relationship with one another, you know, and then the other person was just there to hook up, and it just gets a little bit messy, you know. So that's why I just avoid friends, your friend groups, because it never goes back to being friends, you know. After you like when you if you mess around with somebody in your friend group, does it go back to being that cool friend? Probably not, you know, because now you guys been intimate, you guys shared like or were in a relationship. Now it's just weird. Maybe one of you guys don't hang around anymore just because they don't want to be around the other person. So it gets a little messy. So I'm just saying. All right, next question. Your shirt says stepdaddy in training. Can we have a one-on-one? And I have a boy. I am pregnant, needing some guy who got me pregnant isn't in the picture. I don't think I would. Because you're a pregnant girl. You know what I mean? Like that would just be weird. I don't think I would be able to hook up with a girl that's pregnant with somebody else. Like that, I don't know. That's just weird to me. Like, I'm sorry. I'm flattered that you fantasize about your boy, but hooking up with a pregnant girl, that one's a no for the exactly Bell's Beauty. That one's a no for the experiments. I don't want to experiment that. I get it. Like some people get super, you know, their S drive goes through the roof when they're preggo, but not my problem. That would just be weird. Like imagine like the girl's on top of you and she got a belly and sorry. Unless it was my kid. It's just weird because it's like somebody else's kid. You know, somebody else is all up in there, and then my kids are gonna come visit him real quick and be like, "Hey, how's it going?" You know. All right, next question. Can you answer why men have attraction for butts? I'm older and I don't have either one, but I face a great personality. I want to put myself out there, but how do men seem to focus on the body only? Are there men out there who don't care? Absolutely. You know, I don't think you're saying all men focus on the booty. I don't think so. But do guys like a girl with a booty? Yeah, like, and I'm sure you guys too. You guys like a guy that has like something that you can feel inside. I'm sure, right? You know, everyone has their preferences. I've seen girls that have no booty with somebody. Like, you know, it's not. There's always someone for somebody. Okay, and just because they're into that, or maybe that's what they're liking, pay attention to that. Like, if that's who they're following, if that's who they're liking, if they're commenting on girls' photos like that, maybe just pay attention to that. Maybe you're not what he's looking for. You're just a placeholder, right? So Are guys into booty? Yeah, they are into booty. Are all guys like? Is that a requirement for all guys? No, right? There's some guy like again. I've seen some girls out here that had a little booty, but had a man too. Okay, so I'm telling you, there's people out here who will take whatever they can get, and it's not a big thing for them. Just saying. How about when your husband tells you to get off when it's their child? Sandy, that's something you have to communicate with your man. It's like just because you're pregnant doesn't mean you don't want to get some. Okay, like he should continue to give you some. Like that's a problem if he doesn't want to give you any. Like he tells you to get off. Like what? That's your woman. That's your baby mama. That's your that's you need to have a conversation with him, girl. So my husband is obsessed with going down on me. He's amazing at it. Don't get me wrong, but sometimes I'm like, can we skip to the D already? He told me he loves seeing me squirm and that it turns him on like crazy. I get it, but dang, let's mix it up a little. Sir, I'm crazy. Am I crazy? So, okay, first of all, you should be glad that you have a guy that is willing to go down on you and willing to do these things because we can't be super picky here. There's plenty of girls who don't even get that. They don't even get that. They get a guy who barely even does anything down there, if he even goes down there, doesn't know what he's doing down there. And so you got somebody who wants to take care of you down there. I'm telling you, girl, right now, there's plenty of guys. Would you want to be craving it or you want an excess amount? If he's still giving you D and stuff like that, there's nothing wrong, girl. Let him do his thing. I get it. That you just want him to slide it in, but it just makes it even better, right? Like he just keeps playing with you down there, and then eventually he just slides it in, and it just, it feels the anticipation, right? So, but if he's taking a lot of time down there, maybe telling him, yo, like I feel like you're down there way too much. So again, like I don't know how long he's down there, but if he's there like down there for a long period of time, that might be a problem, because if that's all he's doing, he's not doing anything else, I get where you're coming from. But if he's like just focusing a good like 5-10 minutes or 5 minutes down there, cool. Ashley says direct him. You can direct him too. No, stay down there. Maybe he can't grind. I mean, I don't know anything more than that just because I don't have context, but just remember this. There's plenty of girls out here who are begging their man or they want their man to do that stuff, and your man is doing it all. Like he loves doing it for you. So that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes it's hard to pick and choose. Would you want a guy who doesn't want to be intimate with you, doesn't do those things for you, and then to the point where you're craving it? You know what I mean? So maybe he's saying sorry. That too. All right, next question. My ex was the only man I had in my life. Usually, my life ex, usually now single 6 years, but older. I have diabetes and I have Hep C. My Hep C is not active. Would it be hard to find love again? So, like the whole Hep C and stuff like that, you're gonna have to go. Like that's more of a doctor question. Like I'm no doctor. I'm just a self-proclaimed intimate scientist. Just because I say I do stuff for science doesn't mean I know all about that. So but if you're looking like I don't know, like again, I don't really want to get into that because I don't know, but needs to be with protection and advise your partner. See, Ashley says, with protection and advise your partner. Absolutely. Like if it gets to that, like always, inform them. And exactly, Ashley, ask your doctor. I'm just a intimate scientist, like you want some intimacy tips and stuff like that. I got you, girl. If you want actual doctor advice, I'm the wrong one, girl. So that's what I'm saying. Like stuff like that, you should go to your doctor and figure out what the proper steps would be, and then just go from there, right? So, Edgar the scientist. That's what I'm saying. No, Dr. Edgar the scientist. See, yeah, when it comes to like doctor stuff, I really don't like to give stuff like advice because again, I'm not a doctor. Kind of like, financial advisors or this, I'm not a financial advisor. So like take my advice as you will, when they say stuff like that. So, all right, next question. I'm secretly in love with your mind and your personality. Thank you for being you. And when I see you again, I want to see you again. Where'd you see me? Huh? You following me? You following me? Huh? Huh? Where you at? Huh? No, I'm just joking. Well, thank you. I appreciate you. And of course, it's all from like experience and lessons learned and other people like seeing stuff like that too. So you just learn. That's why I always say that I want somebody who's older because I want somebody who's experienced life. Uh, Not like a young girl. That's a no for me, dog. They haven't really experienced life. They haven't been through ups and downs. They haven't like gone through some breakups. uh they haven't matured, and I need somebody who's mature. Like, of course we can goof around and have fun, but I need somebody who's a little bit more mature. Because I'm Have you ever had have a conversation with your teenager, if you have one? You're gonna be like, would I date somebody like that? Because sometimes when they're in their 20s they be talking the same way. So would I want to like be with somebody like that? No, absolutely not. I'm older, Bobby. Let's go. Oh shit, say less. I want to follow you, Bobby. Watch me, like you guys follow me. There's some people that know where I live, and it's kind of. I mean, shout out to them. Nothing weird has happened, which is cool. But yeah, I've had some messages, people saying like, I know where you live. All right, next question. My man's into dirty talk while we're intimate, but it's not something I'm used to. Can you give me tips? Just start saying things like whatever you're feeling, like, oh, F this pussy, or shit, this P is yours. I don't want to get suspended. Watch me get suspended off TikTok live. This P is yours, like things that he likes. You know what I mean? Like just go with it. Don't overthink it. Don't think that you're supposed to say like some specific thing. Just pay attention to him, uh, and see what he enjoys. Like maybe he likes you saying certain things, or maybe he wants to say certain things, but he's not sure if he can because, uh, like, what if he wants to call you a dirty little sucia, but he doesn't want to do it because he might think that it might be disrespectful. Because I had the question too before where the girl was like, I don't like that my man calls me a dirty little. It was the S word, and and some people love to be called that, like while they're being intimate. So that's what I'm saying. You have to learn your partner, and the only way to find out, is start throwing one-liners at him. Start throwing some one-liners and see where it goes from there. Yes, tell me how dirty and bad I am. Ooh, I see you, girl. I have a question. Why do guys like to say this pee is mine? It's more of like a power thing, dominant thing. You know what I mean? Like they want to feel like, oh yeah, that shit is mine, right? Like again, it's like a power thing. So, all right, next question. My neighbor and his girlfriend broke up, and we started texting and talking. Her and I weren't friends, but it is wrong. He's been hinting at how we both single and we should F. I mean, I know you're not friends with that other person, which is, fine. But I mean, if you guys are just gonna be, it's gonna be difficult because, like, what if you guys just hook up, right? And then say he catches feelings and you decide to bring another guy over. How do you think he's gonna act? Or maybe you started catching feelings and he brings another girl over, and that's gonna make you feel a type of way. And the only way is because he's your neighbor. So would I avoid neighbors? Probably. Like me, again, you're gonna do whatever you want to do. You just asked me for advice, and I'm letting you know what I would do. What would Edgar do? Edgar would probably not do a neighbor because, again, they're like right there. So, like, say you do bring another guy, and he gets jealous and upset, he's gonna come over and and get upset. He knows where you live, and vice versa. So I feel like that's a little too close. Maybe if it was like down the street, still a no, but uh, it might be a yes for you. So again, I would not do neighbors. So, all right, next question. Confession: after 13 years, hooked up with my high school crush, and it was a disappointment. The S was not what I thought it was gonna be. See, that's why you just gotta avoid. Like, I get it. Maybe you had this fantasy that it was gonna go a certain way, and it didn't go that way. But I think that would happen with. It happens. It's like a hit or miss. You hook up with a guy, you're like, fuck, that was mid, or that was like whack, or you hook up with a guy and you're like, oh shit, that shit was amazing, right? How are you gonna know? You don't know, right? And same with your high school crush. How are you gonna know that he was amazing? You don't know, right? But uh why I think you got disappointed is that you went in overly like your expectations were a lot high, or way too high for him. Instead of just going in and being like, all right, well, whatever happens happens. But I think in your head you had like a different expectation, and so when it didn't pan out, you were just like, yeah, this shit was kind of whack, right? But again, or he was just whack, same thing too. So but that's why sometimes you just can't. It's a hit or miss. All right. Next question. Started a relationship. Is it worth it if we have different schedules and have kids? I work during the day and he works at night. We live 1 hour away on a on car or one car. He tries calling me around 9 p.m. in the morning. Between that, we text. This could be a whole scenario of like the right person, but just the wrong time, just because your guys' schedules don't line up. And that's gonna be a problem later on. Even bigger problem. Because if you guys barely get time to see each other, like that might become a bigger problem later on. And plus you guys live an hour away, so it's even more difficult. First of all, it's hard for you guys to even call each other. And then it's hard for you guys to even see each other. I feel like the moment when you guys get attention from somebody else, they're going to leave the other person. Like, say he starts talking to another girl that's on his time schedule and is closer, he's probably going to, like kick you to the curb. Like, let's be honest. Like, he's probably going to kick you to the curb. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a little difficult. Because you don't know. I feel like your guys' schedules are a little too different. A little, I would not want to be with somebody where we couldn't even talk. We can't see each other, but yet we're still trying to make a relationship work. Do I feel like a relationship is going to work out of that? Probably not, right? It'd be different if you guys had like similar work schedules and then it switched, because maybe he got switched to the night shift and you're a morning shift, or vice versa. I feel like if you guys were together for some time, then I feel like it would probably work out, just because, you guys have already been together. But since you're just getting to know this guy, it's early on, I don't think it's going to work out, just to be honest. So, Elizabeth, ¿cómo estás? How are you? All right, hold on. Next question. Can toxic men sense you doing better? Yes, and because toxic men are going to keep tabs on you. They're going to keep tabs on you, and the moment you start doing better in life, maybe look happier, because to them, you shouldn't. The only person that can make you happy is them. And so if they see you being happy, they're going to feel a type of way. Or if they see you doing better, they're going to feel a type of way. So that's why I say, like, there's no, like, don't get revenge with somebody. Just show them that just show them that you're doing better. But just don't go back to them, and don't let them, like, if they say something petty, because obviously if they're toxic, they might say something petty. Don't let it get to you. They might say disrespectful things. They might say stuff like that. And if they do, just let it one ear out the other, because they're trying to get a reaction from you. So can they sense you doing better? Oh, absolutely. They're going to pay attention to you, especially if they're toxic. They're going to try to keep tabs on you a certain way. So I had an ex and I experienced it. See, Candy knows. Hola, how are you? What's up, Biane? Mayeli, ¿cómo estás? How are you? All right, next question. Is it normal my guy will only go down on me when they are drunk? No, that is not normal, girl. Like, he should be wanting to go down there and causing these waterfalls, you know, almost every time. It doesn't need to happen every time, but if the only time he ever does it is while he's drunk, like, does he need to get drunk now to do it every time? Do you need to get him drunk every time, just to get him to do that? And have you asked him, like, when he's not drunk, hey, like, do this, do this? Because I think that's something a little bit more like you're gonna have to communicate with him. Because maybe because we've all been there. I mean, most of us have had drunk s, and you get a little freakier, you get a little bit more wild, right? And so maybe he's just afraid to do it when he's sober, or maybe he feels the type of way when he's sober. I don't know, like, but this is why you have to, like, talk to him about it. So shoot, I don't know why a guy is afraid for the cat. Hell no, I want it all the time, and I am hungry for it. See, that's what I'm saying. All right, hold on. Next question. Sorry if I miss your guys' comments. I'm not trying to miss them, but I'm trying to stay locked in on the questions. Oh, hold on. Let me read. Why does my situation keep asking me to buy him stuff? Girl, Laurie, stop buying him shit. If you're buying him stuff, stop it. Because to me, it kind of sounds like he's using you. He's going to use you. He's going to, like, get whatever he can. He's going to milk the shit out of you. And then, because, no, if you're with somebody, you shouldn't be, he shouldn't be asking you, oh, buy me this. Oh, buy me this. Get a job, bro. Go get a job. Does he not work? Does he not have his own income? Why is it that you have to purchase everything for him? Like, I get it every now and then. If you want to buy him something, cool. There's nothing wrong with that. But him always asking you to buy him stuff, come on, girl. Come on. That's a little bit of a problem there. He's probably gay. I wouldn't say gay. I just feel like he's using her, right? So I would just say that she might be being used, because there's some guys who do that. They know some people will buy them stuff, and they'll continue to stay, So, all right, next question. Do guys genuinely prefer it when a woman is when a woman is incredibly before any physical contact? Girl, hell yeah. I mean, some guys, I don't know why they don't like it when the cat's wet. I love it, right? It turns me on, because you getting like that, I'm making her feel like that, if that makes sense. And so that shit turns me on, right? I feel like the only time it's a problem for people is, like, maybe if they're a little too small, they're not going to be able to feel much if it's, like, soaking wet down there. And there's some people who actually get grossed out by it. Like, I had a buddy, he was with this girl, and he would get upset because she would get super wet, and he didn't like that at all. He's like, that's the only thing I don't like, is because she gets super wet. And come to find out, it's because he didn't know that I knew her, not like in any type of way. Like, I just knew her, like, from back in the day, right? Like, I knew we had mutual friends and stuff. She ended up saying that he was small. And so, of course, if it's, like, super wet down there and he's small, it's going to be even more difficult to feel anything down there. Like, especially for him, if he doesn't feel anything, it's going to be a problem. So that's probably why I don't think he was grossed out by it. I think he was just upset about it because it was, like, a lot. It's weird when the guy acts all surprised leaving the bed. Nah. That's why you got washers. That's why you have multiple sheets, multiple covers. If it gets bad, wash them, put them back. They're probably just lazy, and if anything, just put a towel down, put something down. There's the waterproof towels you can get too. Like, let's not be complaining. All right, next question. 35 female confession time. At 18, I had a threesome with a married couple, 19 and 21. Lasted a couple months. It was nothing short of okay in all the ways. I've been married 10 years. I think I'm about that shit all the time. Oh, I think about that shit all the time. I just never in my marriage because I'm selfish. Missing some wild shit. See, and that's why you have to pay attention to your partner. Like, you have to pay attention to how he is. Like, is he being freaky? I'm not saying like freaky and like having like three people involved. I'm saying like, is he keeping it spicy for you? Because you said you want some wild stuff, right? Wild stuff doesn't necessarily mean that you have to include another partner. It's just like, what are you guys doing? Are you guys trying different stuff? Are you guys doing different stuff? That's being wild. Including another girl doesn't necessarily mean, oh, that's wild, but it's okay to fantasize about it because clearly you've experienced it and now you're just like, oh, that was great. But just know, like, it can get real messy if you decide to, like, say you bring it up and you want to include another girl. Maybe he gets upset, or maybe he's down for it. But then what if he likes the girl more than you, and then now it's a problem because he's more into the other girl than you because the other girl is something new, So like that's why like a lot of things can happen. So I would just say just fantasize about it. Go to naughtyscience.com, get yourself something, think about it, the situation. I got you, girl. And save your marriage. All right, next question. I live with and still hook up with my ex, and we tried him in the back door and the toy in the front. Best I've ever had. Girl. I've ever had. Girl. Sorry about that. Sorry, I don't know why it froze up on me. But hold on, let me make sure. Sorry about that. It froze up on me. But the question was that she still hooks up with her ex. They recently tried the back door, and it's some of the best feeling ever, or she had the best O's ever with doing the back door. Now, if you haven't tried it, I would highly recommend it because there's quite a few people who actually agree with this, that the back door just is a whole nother experience, a whole nother, the O's are different, they feel different, and things like that. So if you've never tried it, maybe try it once. See, Sunflower says it's the best. Maybe try it once, and if it's not your thing, cool. You don't have to do it, But I would just say, because doing it through the back and then having a toy in the front, doing it doggy, I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be a game changer for you. And if you don't like it, cool. I actually tried it, and at first I was yuck, but dang, see, Angie says that she tried it at first, and then she said she didn't like it, but then obviously she had an amazing O. So I'm just saying, maybe, personally, I don't know about the poop shoot. Again, it's not for everybody, but I always say, just give it a try one time. You never know. You might be like, holy shit, I've been missing out on this. And then you're going to go to naughtyscience.com and then you're going to get some plugs. Trust me, they've been selling like hotcakes. I'm telling you right now. I'm not even joking. The ones that vibrate, I'm putting you all on game. Use one of the ones that vibrate. Game changer for sure. I'll tell you that right now. Game changer, not all the time. Buy it, highly recommended. See, that's what I'm saying, Angie. Doing a plug, especially the one that vibrates, is going to take it to another level. You'll thank me later. All right, next question. How stupid am I for trusting the wrong guy? I had been in an unofficial relationship with him for a while. I'll always go to his place, spend the days there at times. Long story short, this guy betrayed me. I was loyal to him, but he gave me HSV too. I haven't been with anyone since, and now I feel worthless. See, and this is why you got to be careful with he would clearly he's been hooking up with other people, right? And so that's the difficult part about being in a situationship or an unofficial relationship, because they can go and do that and it's going to be okay, you know? Uh, because if you're not official, it's okay for him to go and talk to other people, maybe even hook up with other people, because if you catch him, he's just going to hit you with, we're not in a relationship. We're not boyfriend and girlfriend, like they're going to hit you with that. Uh, and so, based on your experience, you can't recognize a good man. No, and then you should have. To me, it would have been like a little bit of a red flag, or you should have been cautious being unofficial. Like, were you guys just being hookup buddies? And that's the sometimes the risk you take is being hookup buddies. How do you know that he's not hooking up with somebody else? Like, that's why it's like, what if he's hooking up with everybody down the block? What if he's spinning the block and then coming with you? That's a whole lot of juices being mixed around. That's a whole gumbo. That's a whole soup right there. uh, and so that's why you got to be careful. Be careful. Make sure if they're just a friends with benefits, you should be protected at all times. Because again, you don't know if he's going and messing around with other people. And then you can tell him. You can be like, "Oh, going raw is only for the boy, like only for my man." And there's nothing wrong with that, right? That way you protect yourself. And then if he doesn't like that, then obviously like he has weird intentions. So ladies, always use protection. That's what I'm saying. Like, if it's just a friends with benefits or like a hookup thing, protect yourself, because you just never know. Like, they can tell you, "Oh, you're the only person I'm hooking up with you," but yet they're hooking up. They're not gonna be like, "Oh yeah, I'm hooking up with you," and like 3 other girls, right? So just it's better to be safe than sorry. Or even if you want to have him constantly get tested, there's nothing wrong with that either, right? Be like, "Hey, every month you got to go get tested." Then now he's going to be less likely to also go and do stuff like that. Trust me, some guys will do whatever it takes for you. Like, if they're really into you, they'll do whatever. So, all right, next question. Is it weird that I like having S in public? No. I mean, what do you mean public? Like, hopefully you're not doing it in front of like kids or like in front of a lot of people, because you're going to get charged with indecent exposure. And if there's kids, it could get worse. But there's nothing wrong with doing it. Like, if you mean public, like random places, maybe you pull up to a park real quick, do it in the car. Like maybe you do it outside somewhere, but there's like nobody around, stuff like that. Okay, I see that. But like, what are you talking about public? Like, if you're doing it in a parking lot, that's cool too, as long as you're doing it in the parking lot, it'd be different if you're like in the gym parking lot and like you guys are doing it on the hood. People are leaving the gym and you guys are just, he's laying pipe on the hood of the car. That would be kind of weird. Or don't be doing it in public pools, like other people in the same thing. Like, have a little bit of respect for other people. If you guys are the only ones in there, that's a little different. Okay. But if there's other people in there, come on now. As long as you got the windows tinted. I love doing it in the forest. See, the forest is cool too. Be careful in public nowadays. There's cameras everywhere. Oh, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Like, you could get, like, if depending on who sees you, you can get indecent exposure. And if kids happen to see you, the charges just go up from there, because now you showed your private parts to somebody who's under 18. And let's just say you're going to get probably some like sexual assault charges, and who knows what else. So you got to be careful. All right, next question. A goal of mine is to squirt, and I don't know if it's just me or what, but it's never happened. I've seen videos and I've tried, focused my little heart out y nada. Any tips? It looks amazing. All right, ladies, this is where you guys come in. What tips would you give her? Like she's struggling to have those magic waterfalls down there. She's struggling right now. What would you do? Maybe she's overthinking it. Maybe she's using the wrong motion. Maybe she's don't focus too hard. It happens when it happens in the sauna, nice and steamy. Use the rose. You know, it could also depend on the toy that you're using. Like, what are you using? Uh, if you say a man, then that's your problem. Not sure. It just happens. Keep trying. It does just happen overnight. See, I can't either. Concentrate and fully release. Let it build and fully let go. Relax all the way. Don't think about it. Play with yourself. Keep trying. Stay hydrated. Relax. No rush. Uh, so basically, what I'm getting is it's mostly pee. Drink more water. What I'm getting here is like if it doesn't happen the first few times, just keep trying. It'll eventually get there. You just gotta, figure out what it's gonna take you to get there, right? So again, based off these comments, it may not happen right away. Major foreplay necessary. Mind has to be relaxed. Let go and enjoy the moment. Yes. So just keep trying, girl. Just relax yourself, hydrate, and then eventually, hopefully, you'll get there. Uh, all right. So we're gonna do one more question because I actually got to clean myself up. I'm all sticky because I dropped my drink earlier. uh, in the talking stage with a coworker, but I previously hooked up with another coworker. We both know didn't work out, but we still cool. Should I tell this coworker that I'm talking to my past hookup with our other girl? Like it's just one big ass orgy where you're working at. You know what I mean? Like you guys are just everybody's hooking up with the everybody. Like uh this is why you don't mess around with people at work. Like you're hooking up with the past coworker, you hook up with this coworker. Like it just sounds like the coworkers there are just being passed around. Like it's only a matter of time before somebody catches something or somebody gets caught cheating or something. Because I'm pretty sure not everybody like is single. Okay, just taking turns at work. That's what's happening. Like you just go from one person to another, and then but somebody's gonna get somebody pregnant. Nobody's gonna know who the kid is or the dad is, and then it's just gonna be a shit show. Like who's the dad? I don't know because I was with so and so, so and so, and so and so. Well, LOL, that's a toughie. I'll let you're sticky. Hello, what's up, Annie? I would just avoid work because it's already a shit show, and I feel like you guys are just gonna add more to the shit show. Meaning, like somebody's gonna get pregnant, and then nobody's gonna know who the dad is, and then it's just gonna be somebody's gonna get caught cheating. Uh, Somebody's gonna catch something, and you guys are just gonna all pass it to each other. Avoid work. All right, I'll do one more. I read that it's about giving up control, but what do you think of men who like or fantasy about getting what? Are they secretly bi or just kinky or lazy? Hold on. I read that it's about giving up control, but what do you think of men who like or fantasize about getting pegged? Are they secretly bi or kinky or just? Okay. First of all, uh, I had a conversation with somebody, and he said he enjoys it when his girl eats his booty. Okay. And he's like, because it's my girl eating my booty. He's like, that's what turns me on, her eating my booty. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Because before I would say if somebody wants to eat your booty, they might, swing the other way. But again, to each their own. Now, when you start inserting things, I told him too. I was like, okay, but you don't insert things. He's like, nah. When you start inserting things, that's maybe bi or they swing the other way. Like they're not into girls because I've never been like, oh shit, I'm being lazy right now. Give me a good peg. No, never even thought of that. It has never even crossed my mind of like doing that. So is it if they're fantasizing about it, they're fantasizing about something else going in there. Okay, I'll just tell you that right now. Like if they're fantasizing about sticking something in there, they're fantasizing about, probably somebody sticking something in there because I've never fantasized about that. G spot, that's what I've heard. That's where the guy's G spot is at. Am I gonna find out? No. Bobby, you want to get paid? Hell no. Not at all. Nothing goes in this guy. So if anyone asks me to do that, I'm out. That's what I'm saying. Like that would be a hard no for me. Nor have I ever brought it up and like, hey, you know what? Like maybe you can, no, absolutely the fuck not, because I feel like that's sacred territory that I don't want to. You shouldn't be inserting stuff in a guy's booty. The other way around is fine, right? Like inserting stuff in a girl's booty, I'm with that. But inserting something in the guy's booty, like, and you're a girl, I think he might be thinking a little something different if you're picking up what I'm putting down. I'm dying. Exit, not an entrance. That's what I'm saying. It's an exit, not an entrance for a guy. Okay. One guy said maybe to it. Maybe. I mean, he may be gay. He may be bi. That's what it is. Like, not maybe to it. He may be that. Okay. Brother, I've been so respectful. I don't deserve this. What did I do to you? Or do you like to get pegged? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? So yeah, that's definitely a no for me. And if he wants that, then I feel like he may be swinging the other way or likes both. So we'll do one more because I don't want to end on that one. Is the talking stage with the coworker? Oh, I already read that one. That one was a shit show. Oh shit, I forgot to delete it. My bad. Been with my friends with benefits for a year and a half. People, fam, think we're together because he tells them that we are. I don't know. Since January, he's been distant after I called him 20 times. I was drunk. That's when things change. How can I ask him what the fuck is up without sounding crazy? I just want things to be like before. Girl, you don't want to sound crazy? But you called him 20 times? And I'm sure it was more. If you were drunk, it was probably more, girl. Okay, you're just giving me the low end. You're just giving me the low end of that. And this is why, yeah, he can tell people, oh, that's my girl. That's my girl. Excuse me. But has he made it official with you? If he hasn't made it official with you, then technically you guys are not. You guys are not boyfriend and girlfriend because that can happen. Now, after that happened and you freaked out on him, called him 20 times, and he just ghosted you, that's fine. Because you guys are just a situationship. So that's why, like, don't just assume. We talked about that the last live. There's way too many girls who just assume that the relationship is going to get fixed, that the guy is going to do this, that the guy is going to do that, instead of just asking them or bringing things up. Stop assuming. Just because he tells other people that, oh yeah, this is my girl, maybe he doesn't want to say in front of them because he's embarrassed, hey, this is my situationship. So saying this is my girl is easier. Or if he just says girl, it's easier just to say like girl. So that's why you have to get it clear, even if it's in writing, that you guys are boyfriend and girlfriend. Like, because if you don't, and he steps out of the relationship, and you guys never made it official, he's gonna use that against you. And like he just dipped out too, because kind of sounded like you went crazy on him, or he dipped out for another reason. I'm not saying it was because you called him 20 times. Could be that though. He was like, "Damn, that girl crazy. She called me 100 times." Because you said 20, I'm sure it was more. Okay, you're just giving me the low end version. So. If he ghosted you too, if you got to the part where he ghosted you, it may be time to move on, because somebody who's really into you is not going to ghost you just like that. They're going to constantly be in communication with you, trying to talk to you, trying to see you, and just straight up ghosting you, they're not interested. So are things gonna go to before? That's what you asked. You want him to go back to where he was just telling people that you guys were boyfriend and girlfriend, but you guys were not boyfriend and girlfriend? Like, that's what you want to go back to? So that's why, again, make sure whoever you're with, you guys get clear, like, hey, we're boyfriend and girlfriend. Because if you don't, that guy can use it against you because you assumed you guys were boyfriend and girlfriend. So let's stop assuming. That's the lesson for today, is stop assuming shit. Okay? Don't assume that the relationship is going to get fixed out of nowhere. Don't assume that he's going to be more spicy and no longer vanilla out of nowhere. Let's stop assuming. Okay? But anyways, I want to thank you guys for jumping on. Monday, we're going to have an amazing episode that you guys have been asking for over and over and over. And I get this question all the time too. On Uncomfortable Convos, that's my podcast right there. So having a medical professional, we're going to talk about ED issues, aka it doesn't get hard, Mr. Limpy, like things like that. What causes it, what you can do to fix it, like depending on their age and different circumstances, like all sorts of stuff. And because there's so many people who think it's their fault that their man can't get hard. No. Okay. So the episode comes out on Monday. You guys are going to love it. And then I still got a shit ton of questions left. So we're still going to do the questions next week as well too. So, and I'll try to go live for you guys this weekend as well. So anyways, thank you guys for joining. I really do appreciate you guys. And what time? So the podcast should be out probably around 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. That's when it should be out. On all platforms, YouTube, Spotify, you name it. And fellas, it's okay to listen to this podcast, because if you're listening to it, it's because you're trying to fix yourself. You're trying to fix yourself. So one, you don't go into a relationship and you can't get it hard because it's going to be a problem. Or two, you're struggling in your relationship because you can't get it hard, and your girl's eventually going to want it from somewhere or somebody. So it's okay to listen to this podcast, fellas. Like, if you have a problem, it's okay. Shit happens. We get older. Like, it's all right. The only thing that you shouldn't do is nothing. Right? That's what you shouldn't do, is nothing. So, but anyways, I want to thank you guys, and I will see you guys later. I got to clean up my mess because I'm all sticky. So who wants to come over here and lick it up? So I'm kidding. Okay. All right. I'll see you guys later.